Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Sports Talk. Today, I'm going to talk about who I think is going to be the better pro, Marcus Mariota or Jameis Winston. Now, they both are very, very talented players, and they both showed that at the college level. But it seems like a lot of quarterbacks that are explosive in college, when they get to the NFL, they don't have it anymore. You can look at Colt McCoy, Tim Tebow, Mark Sanchez, Geno Smith, and they all just kind of drop off the map. So, I don't know if I'm not saying these players are going to totally drop off the radar or anything, but what I am saying is, I think that neither of them are going to be like Tom Brady's, Drew Brees, Aaron Rodgers. They're both talented. I think they're both going to be pretty decent backups, but I really don't see them being legends in the NFL. Now, let's start with Marcus Mariota. Out of the University of Oregon, he was a great Heisman Trophy winner in his last year in college, and very, very good person, and he was a very quiet leader, and his team responded to that. Now, whether or not that's going to work in the pros, I don't know. That's yet to be seen. But he is not used to running an NFL-style team. He's used to running that very quick, up-tempo Oregon offense that runs slants and options and curls. He's not used to going under center and doing 5-7 step drops and doing rollouts on the play action and timing that perfectly with his receiver. Now, I'm not saying that he isn't going to be successful at that, but that's going to be very difficult for him because he has not played that way in college at all. In the system Oregon ran, he was excellent, and if the Tennessee Titans were smart, they would definitely try to mix some of that in, so that way that kind of shows, so that his talent can be exploited. If they don't do that, then it's not gonna look good for Marcus Mariota. Now, Jameis Winston, he came from a system in Florida State that is kind of like an NFL-style offense, where he goes under center. Just the plays they ran, the formations they lined up, and is a lot like NFL offenses. So he's going to kind of have an advantage over Mariota in that little bit. I think his freshman year was his best year. His sophomore year, he was very plagued with turnovers. He was still good, don't get me wrong, but he was better his freshman year. I feel like that whole team was better his freshman year. Now, I think the Buccaneers made a good choice by grabbing him, but he's only going to be as good as his offensive line allows him to be. If the offensive line can't protect him, then you can have the greatest quarterback in the world, but if you have a bad offensive line, they're going to look bad. So he has the receivers, they're tall, they're athletic, and he has the arm, the accuracy. He has good legs that he can make plays with. He seems pretty durable. So I think he has a pretty bright future ahead of him if they can get their offensive line in check. So that's really out of his control. I think if he just keeps his head on straight, I think he's going to have a very, very successful career. But they got to get the offensive line taken care of. And I think it's going to be a few years, but I think his talent is going to show over Marcus Mariota's. So I think I would take Jameis Winston over Marcus Mariota because of the system he ran in college. When it comes from a leadership perspective, then I kind of look toward Marcus Mariota. But as far as on the field, I would take Jameis Winston. It's just the system they ran there. He has a great arm, and he's a very good leader in his way too. They're both two very different leaders, so it depends on how his team responds to that. I think that's a much more common leadership that Jameis Winston has. Marcus Mariota, you don't see that quiet leader as often. So hopefully that works out for him. I think they're both going to be decent, but I think Jameis Winston is just going to be... I think I would take Jameis Winston over Mariota because I think he is going to be better because of the system he was in college. So I think if the offensive line can get better, the whole team is going to just go on the momentum that they have Jameis Winston under center. And I think that it's going to help the entire team. I know that neither one of them looked flat out fantastic in the preseason, but I think give them both time and a few years in the league, they're going to look a lot better. Marcus Mariota, he didn't look bad in the preseason. Even going under center and doing play actions, he didn't look bad. So maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he will be very, very good at that. He might just be one of those natural athletes that comes natural with. That would be awesome to see that. I mean, it's definitely not out of the question. They're both very talented players. So I don't know. I'm excited to see what they're going to do in this upcoming season and see what kind of difference they make for their program. Both were very, very bad teams last year, obviously, because the Buccaneers had the first pick and the Tennessee Titans had the second pick. I think they both made good choices by picking those two. But if I were the Buccaneers, I would have done exactly what they did and picked Jameis Winston. So, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoy this, please like and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next video. Until then, this is Sports Talk, heading out.